Go. Morning, everyone, and I'd like to open the meeting at 9:04. If I could please have someone confirm the minutes of the ordinary meeting held on the 30th of October. Oh, sorry, I have two online, sorry. Councillor Seawright and Councillor Hancock, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry. Now, can I please have someone read the minutes of the ordinary meeting held on the 30th of October 2025? Councillor Vincent.
I move that the minutes of the ordinary meeting held on the 30th of October 2025 be confirmed.
Seconder, Councillor Brumpton. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Could I have someone move the minutes of the special meeting held on the 5th of November 2025? Oh, sorry. I thought it was Brendan. Councillor Burkett.
I'd like to move that the minutes of the special meeting held on the 5th of November 2025 be confirmed.
Seconder, Councillor Vincent. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 8.1, Christmas, New Year office closures. Councillor Brumpton.
I move the council amend resolution OM/10.2025/04 to read as follows. That council endorses 1, the annual Christmas and New Year closure for the general workforce and associated facilities, excluding those services identified as essential services requiring skeleton crews, from close of business Friday the 19th of December 2025 and reopening on Monday the 5th of January 2026. The Roma and Mitchell Waste Facility be closed to the public on Christmas Day, the 25th of December 2025, and New Year's Day, 1st of January 2026, and appropriately sized skip bins be provided outside the facility for public use for the days of closure. Note that all other regional waste transfer stations will remain open as per their usual operating hours. 3, the closure of the Yulbar Post Office on Thursday the 25th of December 2025, Friday the 26th of December 2025 and Thursday the 1st of January 2026, with reduced operating hours over the Christmas period of 9am to 1pm from Saturday the 20th of December to Friday the 2nd of January 2026. 4, the annual Christmas and New Year closures of council's libraries in Jackson and Mungalala from close of business Friday the 19th of December 2025 and reopening Monday the 12th of January 2026. 5, the annual Christmas and New Year closures of the Injune Visitor Information Centre from Thursday the 25th of December 2025 to Saturday the 27th of December 2025, and from Tuesday the 30th of December 2025 to Thursday the 1st of January 2026. 6, the annual Christmas and New Year closures for the Roma Visitor Information Centre and the Big Rig will be on Thursday the 25th of December 2025, Friday the 26th of December 2025 and Thursday the 1st of January 2026, with reduced operating hours over the Christmas period of 9am to 1pm from Saturday the 20th of December 2025 to Friday the 2nd of January 2026. 7, note that the last Big Rig night show, Sunset Experience for 2025 on Friday the 19th of December 2025 and restart the first night show, Sunset Experience, on Monday the 5th of January 2026 at 6:30pm. 8, propose to amend the fees and charges schedule for public entry. Actually, it should just be amend. That council amend the fees and charges schedule for public entry to the Big Rig to a $5 flat rate for all visitors from Saturday the 27th of December 2025 to Sunday the 4th of January 2026.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor O'Neill. Would you like to speak, Councillor?
Just acknowledging that this is just a change in item 3. There was a mistake on the reopening day of the Yulbar Post Office to align with all others in the region, and it was changed from the 9th to the 2nd of January 2026. And apart from the minor amendment to the wording on the last one, that are the only changes to the previous resolution.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 12.2, 2025-26 Quarter 1 Progress Report Operational Plan to the 30th of September 2025.
And we've got 11.1.
12.1.
Oh, sorry.
11.1.
Where's
11.1, page
11.1?
27.
Oh, sorry, I skipped one, sorry. Sorry, 11.1, setting of meeting dates 2026. Councillor Davis.
Thank you. I move that Council 1 adopt the ordinary meeting schedule as presented. 2, hold all ordinary meetings and briefings at the Council Roma Administration Centre. 3, commence ordinary meetings at 9 a.m. unless approved otherwise in the attached schedule or in line with point 5. 4, subject to need, continue to hold council briefings generally on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of each month and on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday, including an agenda familiarisation segment commencing at 9 a.m. unless otherwise informally agreed. 5, formally approve any future changes to the ordinary meeting schedule. 6, subject to informal agreement, update and add to the briefing schedule as required.
I have a seconder. Councillor O'Neill.
Well, a second. Can I just ask a question? Just, it's more of a question to ourselves, really. I just thought with the point 4 commencing at 9 a.m, I thought we had in the past had commencing at either 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. unless otherwise informally agreed.
We did.
Yeah, 'cause
It never
briefings-
happened.
What do you mean?
Like, no one was available to start at 8:30.
We've had meetings that have started at 8:30.
Not the majority.
No, briefings,
Diary.
not ordinary meetings.
This is the
Briefings
point
and all.
4.
Through you there, unless otherwise informally agreed, could still allow you to adjust if you needed to.
Pam, just, sorry, Madam Mayor, through you, Councillor O'Neill. I guess from my point of view, I would, 9 o'clock is early enough for me being out, having to drive over an hour to get there normally. But then if we have to have one that goes at 8:30, we can informally agree to do that. So I would, I'd be supportive of leaving it 9. But if we need to do 8:30 or 7 o'clock, even we can informally agree to that rather than have it the opposite way around.
I think it covers that.
Yeah.
That motion does cover it if we want to start at 8:30 at any given
Yeah.
time.
I thought previously it was more explicit than just that. And then, and I thought we probably should have in here that the briefings will finish at 4 o'clock.
It says 8:30 a.m. or 9 subject, and that was on the next page. Briefings, community engagement, that's not different, yeah,
8:30 or 9.
8:30 or 9. Subject to need, so either way, they're both covered here.
Do you
I
want
have
to
a
move an
further
amendment?
question while
Yeah.
we're considering that, or do you want to finish that one first?
Yeah, I'll propose that it be point 4 be commencing at 8:30 or 9 a.m. subject to need and concluding at 4 p.m.
Can I ask why 4 p.m?
We don't have to leave here, but it gives us an hour to do other council stuff while we're here,
Yeah, I'm happy
If
with that.
needed.
if
Are you
needed.
happy with that? I haven't got a seconder yet.
I've got another question.
Oh, yep,
I'm seconding it
Okay.
subject to the...
okay.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Point 5, do we formally approve any future changes to the ordinary meeting schedule? I thought future changes had to come through on another resolution.
Well, that would be formally
That's what it says.
approved.
Okay, do we need to even say that? Because that's just stating, preempting that, because we have to do it anyway.
No, but I'll just use Councillor Flynn's, where we changed it. That wasn't done yearly, that was done on the case as a need to have every councillor in the room. We changed it to Thursdays. So that was formally done separately.
Formally would, for me, means come to the table.
Well, they have to come to the table anyway, don't
Yeah.
they? We have to actually have it as a, I just thought we were stating the obvious because it would happen as a resolution at the time if needed. Anyway, leave it in.
Probably
if that's what you
explicit.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, councillor, is that right? Yep. Councillor Davis, would you like to speak?
No.
Anyone like to
Did
speak?
you accept his?
I proposed the
I
amendment you accepted?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, well, I'm happy
Yeah.
to second.
Yes.
I have a question, Madam Mayor, through you.
Yes, councillor.
So just thinking from a staff's perspective and reading point 4 the way it is now, how does Kelly or Rob decide whether we're going to start at 8:30 or 9 a.m? Like, it's just, like, how do they decide that?
Councillors, well, you do every fortnight or every week. You do your diary stuff with Kel. So if there's going to be proposed change to an earlier date, we'd identify it. Would be picked up at your diary meeting.
And thinking that there could also be, you might propose to start it later, which you have done as well.
So we won't really know from week to week whether we're going to start at 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
I think it's more of a case it's 9 o'clock unless otherwise.
As advised, yeah.
Okay. Just from that, it doesn't really say that. So
I
just
understand.
wanting to make sure this, no.
It's just from a staff point of view, I suppose, Councillor Hancock, you're saying, well, just how will the staff know? We'll take it as 9 o'clock unless otherwise specified.
I mean,
Thank you.
To speak to it, that has been what has been in place for the last 12 months. Looking at the past
Last
resolution that we resolved on page 28, and it seems to have been working not too bad. It's on a needs basis, and it's fairly well communicated if in fact we are going to have an early start, and generally that has been if we needed a diary meeting.
Historically, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So would you like to speak, councillor?
Thanks, Mayor. I'm supportive of this. It shows that there's a flexibility around the table to get something that can work for council meetings, for the briefings. We've given ourselves the flexibility to have it informally changed if required. Specifically speaking to the council briefings and. The change we made last year to hold the ordinary meetings on the Thursday and all briefings on a Wednesday appears to be working, and this is a consistent approach for the next 12 months.
Would anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 12.1, user agreement Mitchell on Maranoa Gallery. Councillor Burkett.
I'd like to move that Council 1 enter into a user agreement with Bringa Action Group's subcommittee Friends of the Gallery for 5-year term for the use of the Mitchell on Maranoa Gallery expiring on the 21st of November 2030. 2, approve the request for additional access to the gallery outside standard operating hours for the purpose of creative art sessions, exhibition installations and exhibition openings and closings. 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or delegate to execute the user agreement.
Have a seconder. Councillor Brompton, would you like to speak, councillor?
Just to say, I think going on the last art opening that Councillor Brompton and I attended, was over 90 people there. It was just a very special one, but with no power, it was very hot. But I think these guys are going on leaps and bounds. They sort of do it quietly, but they don't miss out on an art showing. So I think this is good. It's I think it sets us up for the future.
Anyone else like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 12.2, I'll have a second go at this one. 2025-26 Quarter 1 Progress Report Operational Plan to the 30th of September 2025. Do I have a mover? Councillor Brompton.
I move that Council 1 receive and note the 2025 Quarter 1 report. Maybe we'll say operational plan report. Janice, sorry. No, just quarter one operational plan report. And 2, endorse the quarter one report as presented in accordance with section 1047 of the Local Government Act 2009.
I have a seconder. Councillor Davis, would you like to speak, councillor?
Has anyone got any questions before? No? I'd like to thank the staff. We've been working hard on making these reports easier to understand and more meaningful, and it's great to see the first review for the quarter in the new format. And hopefully it's easier for the community to read also where we're at. And there are some things that are a little bit behind, but we've had a lot happening around organisational structure review, and we seem to have the whole team committed to being on the same page and getting things happening this year, so it's wonderful to see the progress that we've made.
Anyone else like to speak? I too would just like to congratulate the team. Thanks, Brett and Grace. As Councillor Brompton said, it's a real work in progress, we know, but it's just come a long way in the last 12 months, so thank you very much. If no one else, anyone else like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
We started clapping then for some.
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. 13.1, request for fee waiver, works within road reserve, road access permit fee.
Mayor, I've just got a conflict.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Item 13.1, description, request for fee waiver, works within road reserve, road access permit fee. Declaring councillor is Councillor Cameron O'Neill. The person with interest is myself. Particulars of the interest are my daughters are students of the swim school that is mentioned in the report. It's a declarable conflict of interest. And although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision.
Councillor Brompton.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Cameron O'Neill participates and votes on agenda item 13.1 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Councillor Davis. All those in favour?
Yes.
Did you declare it last time?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
I think you did.
I think I did.
So just take that, you'll have to take that vote, but obviously you
Without
can't.
you
Yeah,
and me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those in favour?
Yes.
That leaves
Yes.
7-0. Sorry, Janice, but I'll have to declare a conflict as well. All of that. Uh, 13.1, request for fee waiver, works within road reserve, road access permit fee. The declaring councillor is myself, Wendy Taylor. The particulars of interest is my grandson, Casey, is a student of the swim team that is mentioned in the report. It's a declarable conflict of interest, and although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I would choose to remain in the meeting. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision. Any words? That'll be good. Thank you, Councillor Brompton.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Wendy Taylor participates and votes on her agenda item 13.1 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Seconder, Councillor Davis. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
7-0. Sorry about that. Anyway, have a mover. Councillor Brompton.
I move that Council 1 refund the access permit fee of $795 to Forest Country Building and 2 advise Kirby Johnston and the Church of Christ of the refund.
Seconder, Councillor Vincent. Would you like to speak, Councillor?
Yes, it's noted that this fee was charged, but because it's actually a church that doesn't make any money, it shouldn't have been charged, so we're refunding it to the applicant.
Anyone else like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those
Yes.
in favour? Oh,
Yes, please.
yep.
Yes, please.
Sorry, Councillor Hancock. Go ahead.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I too am going to support this because it is actually in line with our policy where if a not-for-profit organisation applies for the fee refund, we can give it. It also is supporting once again the application. Sorry, not the application. Supporting the ability for extra parking that is required for Plush Diamonds to be able to do their Learn to Swim while our Roma pool is under construction. So I'm fully supportive of this.
Thank you, councillor. On that note, we'll all go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Thank you. Good morning. I didn't say that, sorry. 15.1, develop an application material change of use dwelling house domestic outbuilding, 94 Crystal Street, Roma, reference 2025/21582. Do I have a mover? Councillor Flynn?
I move that the development application for a material change of use dwelling house domestic outbuilding located at 94 Crystal Street, described as Lot 2 on RP 4445 be approved subject to the listed conditions and general advice.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Burkett. Does anybody have any questions? Would you like to speak, councillor?
No thanks, no.
Would anyone like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0.
Kel, who was the seconder for that one?
Me.
Yeah,
Thanks,
councillor
thanks,
Burkett.
councillor Burkett.
15.2, user agreement, Roman District Little Athletics. Councillor Flynn.
I'll move, and I also have a question. In the draft that we received yesterday, the dates were not correct. I don't know whether it's been changed. I did try and contact Leah with regard to that date, but it had a date in the draft of 2025 as the expiry date.
Oh, okay.
It's now been changed in the documentation to 2030.
Director Jamie, take that up. Be all right?
That one actually
Brett.
went through.
Oh, Brett.
Sorry, yes, certainly we'll amend the final. The attachment is a draft, I guess, really, as opposed to the final, so we'll amend the date to match the resolution, yes.
I'll move that council enter into a user agreement with Roma and District Little Athletics for a 5-year term for the use of the Bungle Street Oval, being part of Lot 91 on R8614, expiring on the 21st of November 2030, and authorise the Chief Executive Officer or delegate to execute the user agreement with Roma and District Little Athletics.
Have a seconder. Councillor Burkett. Would you like to speak, councillor?
Yeah, I'd just like to commend the work that the Roma and District Little Athletics are doing, and that council be happy to be involved with the continuation of the lease of the part of the Bungle Street Oval that they are using, and wish them all the very best for their future endeavours.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. So moving on to the late.
15.3.
I thought I'm doing a bad job today.
Negotiate decision notice.
Where is it?
Blacksmith, 15.
Page 106.
I'm not that big a hurry, to be honest with you. 15.6, did you say?
15.3.
Oh, yes, 15.3. Negotiated decision notice, material change of use, undefined use, blacksmith workshop, 42 Tiffin Street, Roma, reference 2022/20586. Councillor Davis.
Thank you. I'd like to move that council agree to the change representations and issue a negotiated decision notice to the applicant for the development permit for a material change of use, medium impact industry and undefined use, blacksmith workshop located at 42 Tiffin Street, Roma, described as Lot 217 on WV 1651, reflecting the changes outlined below. A, condition 57 is changed from 57 operating hours for the blacksmith workshop are restricted to 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, Saturday and Sunday to operating hours, to 57, sorry. Operating hours for the blacksmith workshop are restricted from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Sunday. B, all other conditions remain unchanged.
Have a seconder. Councillor Brompton. Just a really quick question. Is it just because they're doing so well? Yeah, which is great. Yeah, okay.
I think we discussed at the time, why wouldn't they have it open during the week? But at the time, the application wasn't for that, so maybe it was an oversight.
They must
at the
have more
time.
capacity now, so that's really good. I'm very impressed. That's
Yeah.
great. Does anyone have any other questions? Councillor Davis, would you like to speak?
Thank you. I just think it's really great to be able to support this change, because supporting local business, and it's, you know, something that has been at the table before, and it's good to have that flexibility to come back and ensure that businesses can do what they do best and operate their business. So thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Now I'm moving on to the late. Get myself in a little ducks in a row would be good. Right. L1, endorsement of event assistance program round 4. I have everyone with a conflict, so put your name there, away you go. Councillor Davis.
Thank you. I'd like to declare a conflict for item L1. Description is endorsement of the Events Assistance Program Round 4. The declaring councillor is Amber Davis. The person with the interest is myself and my husband, Wayne Davis. The particulars of interest is we own and operate Bessie's Ice Cream Bus that have been invited to attend the Wallumbilla Christmas party, which is listed in the report. It's a declarable conflict of interest, and although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person would have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting. However, I respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision.
Councillor Brompton.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Davis participates and votes on agenda item 15.3 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
I have a seconder. Councillor, if you've got a conflict, you can't?
Oh.
Can you? No? Councillor O'Neill. All those in favour? 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4. Councillor Flynn, are you voting?
Oh, sorry.
5. I'm in trouble as it is. 5-0. Righto. Who else? Who's next?
I'd like
Councillor
to declare
Vincent.
a conflict of interest on item L.1, endorsement of the Events Assistance Program Round 4. The declaring councillor is myself, Jane Vincent. The person with the interest is Melissa Humphreys. Melissa is my sister-in-law and she wrote the grant application for the Hodson Soldiers Memorial Hall. It is a declarable conflict of interest and I will leave the room while the matter is discussed and voted on.
Thank you. Councillor Burkett.
Yeah, I'd like to declare a conflict of interest on L1, endorsement of the Events Assistance Program Round 4. Declaring councillor myself. The person of interest is my father, Gary Burkett. Gary is the president of the Mitchell Rotary Club and they are listed in the report. It's a prescribed conflict of interest and I will leave the room while the matter is discussed and voted on. Sorry, I should add that prescribed.
Councillor Seawright.
I wish to declare conflict of interest on item L1, endorsement of the Events Assistant Program Round 4. The declaring councillor is myself, Councillor Brendan Seawright. The person of interest is myself. Particulars of interest, I am the president of the Wallumbilla Agricultural and Pastoral Association who submitted an application to this round of Events Assistance Program. The type of conflict is prescribed conflict of interest, and I will leave the room while the matter is discussed and voted on.
Thank you. We'll just give you a text when you can come
Yep.
back in. Thank you.
No worries, thank you.
Who else was leaving? Jane, thank you.
Good to go.
All right, do we have any questions before? Have I got a mover? Okay,
You're not moving yet.
I'm happy to move.
thank you. Councillor Hancock.
I move that council endorse the assessment panel's recommendations, and I endorse the assessments panel's recommendations with the following amendments and approve the following events assistance program applications for payment. Hodgson Soldiers Memorial Hall Community Christmas Party, $500. Surat Ladies Bowling Club, Surat, the event is, I'm just going to read the organisation. Surat Ladies Bowling Club, $500. Queensland Country Women's Association, Jackson Branch, $500. Dunkeld Memorial Golf Club, Inc., $500. Muckadilla Community Association, $500. Wallumbilla Agricultural and Pastoral Association, $1,000. Rotary Club of Mitchell, $1,000. Mungalala Progress and Sporting Association, $500. Noongar Community Association Incorporated, $500. Roma Filipino Community Incorporated, $1,000. Surat Local Ambulance Committee, $1,000. Road Safety Education Limited, $500, the total would then be $8,000. And to allocate funds from GL 2887.2259.2001.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor O'Neill. Would you like to speak, councillor?
Yes, thanks, Madam Mayor. This is the first time we are approving the grants for the events assistance program, and whilst going through this new policy, I acknowledge that the recommendation from the panel was in line with the policy. But going through the policy and getting feedback from local community groups already, it has been identified, well, to me as a councillor, that purely basing our assessment on the number of people who might attend the event is probably not a fair and equitable way to assess them. And something we should look at is actually what the event brings and means to the community as a whole. So the two that I've increased is the Wallumbilla Agricultural and Pastoral Association for their Christmas party and the Surat Local Ambulance Committee for their Christmas party. I've increased that to the $1,000 in line with what we're giving to Mitchell and what we're giving to the Roma Filipino community for their Christmas party. I believe that those two events in those towns should not be assessed on how many people attend, but the fact that it is a whole community event that brings our community together at Christmas time and gives us a reason to connect and to enjoy each other's company. What that brings to our community from a mental health basis far outweighs what a number of who may attend an event. So on that basis, I'm just moving this motion. And look forward to bringing the policy back in future to let council have another look at whether it needs amending to include that we assess it on the benefit to the whole community as part of our assessment criteria.
Thank you, councillor. Anyone like to speak against? Anyone? Councillor Davis.
Sorry, I find it hard to vote against a policy we adopted less than 3 months ago. I am all in favour of fair and open and transparent, which this events policy is. If council's majority of the opinion that we should do it a different way, I just don't see how this is fair and equitable across all of those people that have applied, and how we would put one Christmas party above another. It's still a community Christmas party. So for those reasons, I won't be voting in favour of this motion.
Anyone like to speak for? Councillor O'Neill.
I'll speak in favour. I support the events assistance, policy. It is our first time implementing it, and I think it's worthy of us to have an ability to make sure that it's fit for purpose. And I think this round has identified, particularly because it's led into Christmas, that there may need to be some tweaking. Now, that may be the policy stays exactly the same and we treat, the regional Christmas events separately. I'm of a mind to support this because I see the financial commitment that council makes to, the regional Christmas party that is hosted in the largest centre within the Maranoa. I accept that, it being Roma. But I want to make sure that the smaller communities that make up our region don't feel that one is getting something that the other isn't. Now, the dollar values are different, I accept that, but so are the the number of participants. But having this in the lead up to a time where we see events held across the region that do pull the whole community together rather than for other events throughout the year is why I am supportive of seeing an increase, a small increase, I might add, of the overall budget of $1,000 to increase it from 7,000 to 8,000 to see your Wallumbilla and Surat increase to $1,000 contribution to their Christmas events. I accept the argument from Councillor Davis that we just did endorse this policy only a few months ago, but given that it is brand new, I think we need the flexibility of this table to make it fit for purpose, and this will, in my view, fix it for now, and then we can have another look at the policy, how to tweak it to address the concerns that have been raised.
Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Brompton.
I'd like to speak against this for the same reason as Councillor Davis. The argument that giving two communities more because the whole of community events might not go down well with Hodson, Jackson and Dunkeld and Muckadilla because they probably consider their events a whole of community events also. We spent considerable time on the events assistance policy to try and have clear guidelines and make sure that we were being equitable with what we did. I have no problem with these organisations receiving Christmas money towards their Christmas events. We talked about trying to have some equity around this, and I believe we've gone against those discussions by proposing different amounts based on a whole of community event when those other communities probably say the same thing for their Christmas parties also. So for that reason, I won't vote for this motion the way it is.
Thank you. Can I just ask what the how much is in the events budget?
Through you, Mayor, approximately $15,000 each round. We're thinking we're going to take some of that funding from the sponsorship budget, so about $15,000 each round, and there's 4 rounds altogether.
And is this the 4th round?
This is technically it'll be the 4th round in the year, but it's our first one that we're doing.
As an event, yep, okay. Anyone else like to speak? Would you, who moved this?
Councillor Hancock.
Oh, Councillor Hancock, would you like to sum up?
Yes, thanks, Madam Mayor. I acknowledge Councillor Davis and Councillor Brompton's your debate on this. I acknowledge that this is our first go at this policy, and we've just adopted it. But as we know, we do amend policies if they aren't working for our communities. And I know that that's only my opinion, that this policy is not working. For some of the regional communities, it might work for the larger communities, but in my opinion, it's not working for the smaller communities for this major Christmas carnivals. I'd like to acknowledge that I know for a fact that the Surat Christmas Carnival have actually done the right thing for years and years and years, and they've been applying for these community grants. And because of the timing of this community grant, they have it will affect, because they reduced from $1,800 down to $500. That means that the Surat Christmas Carnival will not be able to supply any of the Christmas rides for the children, because we just also don't have the funds to be able to pay that, to be able to generate back from it. This is not a fundraising event. This is an event that gives back to the community at Christmas time. So I acknowledge that this is probably the Christmas has added extra complexities to our event assistance grants. I acknowledge it. So for me, I agree with Councillor O'Neill. We're just trying to fix that now and then have a look at it in the future, and whether the events program stays the same and we take out Christmas or we do something else, it gives us opportunity to be able to fix that. But for this Christmas, we will be probably denying some of those communities the opportunity to be able to provide that fund for the children that they normally have. I do acknowledge that the smaller communities that their Christmas carnivals and Christmas events have got a whole community benefit to them as well. I acknowledge that. And if they had applied for more, well, it would have been absolutely been discussed in this motion as well. But from that basis, I just am asking council to support the fact that to increase Wallumbilla and Surat to the $1,000 in line with the Mitchell and the Filipino community. Thank you.
We did actually increase one though too, didn't we?
Correct.
Yeah.
The Muckadilla, sorry.
Yeah. All right, sorry. On that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Against? 2-4. Motion is not carried. Does anybody want to move another motion?
I'd like to move
Councillor Davis.
that Council 1 endorse the assessment panel's recommendation and approve the following events assistance programs application for payment as below. Do I need to read it all again? Yep.
Yep.
Hodson Soldiers Memorial Hall, $500. Surat Ladies Bowling, $500. Queensland Country Women's Association Jackson Branch, $500. Dunkeld Memorial Golf Club, $500. Muckadilla Community Association, $500. Wallumbilla Agricultural and Pastoral Association, $500. Rotary Club of Mitchell, $1,000. Mungalala Progress Association, $500. Noongar Community Association Incorporated, $500. Roma Filipino Community Incorporated, $1,000. Surat Local Ambulance Committee, $500. Road Safety Education Limited, $500, with a total of $7,000.
Seconded by Councillor Brumpton. Would you like to speak, Councillor?
Just to say that I sat on the panel for this and that it is obviously going to have some teething issues, but we do have to start somewhere. While I'm supportive of this motion today, I'm happy to go back and reassess how we do treat Christmas in our smaller communities, and if it's business as usual for council to go and do that in some way, shape or form, I'm happy to have a conversation. But I feel like this is in line with our events policy, our events assistance program, and it just ensures fair and equitable treatment. And we do have to base it on something tangible, which in this case we've gone with the numbers in attendance.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak against?
Sorry, just a point of order through the chair. The recommendation includes the actual allocation of the funds through the
Oh,
GL
so sorry.
number.
Thank
So
you.
if
Good
that-
pickup.
That's a good pickup by Georgie.
Thanks, Georgie. And if I can add two to the recommendation. 2, allocate funds from GL 2887.2259.2001.
And I'm happy with that amendment as the seconder.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak?
I'm against.
Oh, sorry, councillor Hancock, when you're ready.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I'm going to vote against this. I agree. I'm excited to give this money and endorse this money to all the applications who have been nominated. I'm always excited that council gives money to be able to add value to all events in the Maranoa. Those events bring such economic development to our communities, but not only economic development, they bring a sense of community. So fully support that. I'm just not going to support this today because when we talk about fair and equitable, the committee has already increased one applications. They applied for $165. They increased it to $500. This has been done before. The standard is there. And I don't believe that I was asking for anything more than that in my motion that I put forward. So sadly today I'm going to vote against this, but like to wish all the events absolute success.
Thank you, councillor. Anyone else like to speak for?
Can I ask a question? Just who was on the panel?
Councillor Davis and councillor Vincent?
So just in light of the policy, and while I'm supportive of what you've done, what was the rationale to go against the policy to increase the Muckadilla Community Association's request of 165 to 500 if that's not in line with the policy?
From memory, and I don't have the application in front of me, 100, we just felt that maybe the community group full of volunteers might have underestimated the cost of holding an event, and we were concerned about the equitable under it, that the $500 to other events had come in at 500, so we felt that it was worth the $300 and something increase.
Does that answer your question,
It
councillor?
does, yeah.
Does anyone else want to speak at all? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour? Against?
Yes.
5-1. Thank you. We might just pause now because I might just adjourn because I've just got to go to the Young Beef Producers Forum for a couple of minutes. So we'll have an early morning tea and we'll be back. So I'll reopen, you right? Yeah. Reopen the meeting at 10:37 and we're on to L2. Request for Partnership Coexistence Queensland Community Leaders Council. Conflict, Councillor Brumpton.
I'd like to declare a conflict of interest on item L2, request for Partnership Coexistence Queensland Community Leaders Forum. The declaring councillor is myself, the person with interest is myself. I'm an employee of a renewable energy company and the forum is aimed at coexistence of agriculture, the resource sector and renewable energy sector. It's a declarable conflict of interest. Although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias, therefore I'll choose to remain in the meeting. However, I'll respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision.
Councillor Vincent. Are you right? Yep. It just looks different on the bottom there on the screen, Rochelle, that's all.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Merrill Brompton participates and votes on agenda item L.2 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Have a seconder? Councillor O'Neill. Go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
7-0. Councillor Seawright, you have a conflict?
Yes, I'd like to declare a conflict on item L.2, request for Partnership Coexistence Queensland Community Leaders Council. The declaring councillor is myself, Councillor Brendan Seawright. The person with interest is myself. I am particulars of interest. I am employed by a company that operates within the resource sector, which is part of Coexistence Queensland. It is a declarable conflict of interest. Although I have a declarable conflict of interest, I do not believe a reasonable person could have a perception of bias. Therefore, I will choose to remain in the meeting. However, I will respect the decision of the meeting on whether I can remain and participate in the decision.
Do I have a mover? Councillor O'Neill.
I move that it is in the public interest that Councillor Brendan Seawright participates and votes on agenda item L2 because a reasonable person would trust that the decision is made in the public interest.
Seconder. Councillor Vincent. All those in favour?
Yes.
7-0. Okay, do I have a mover? Councillor O'Neill.
I move that Council 1 support the proposal from Coexistence Queensland to host the Community Leaders Council in Roma, recognising the value of the event in facilitating regional dialogue on coexistence, economic diversification and community development. 2, provide in-kind support for the event through A, participation of councillors and staff on an as-required invited basis, and B, use and set up of the Roma Auditorium free of charge if required, and 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to liaise or delegate to liaise with Coexistence Queensland regarding a suitable event date, giving consideration to other regional events and commitments that may impact meaningful attendance and participation.
Seconder. Councillor Vincent, would you like to speak, Councillor?
Yeah, thanks very much, Mayor. Mayor Taylor and myself and the CEO have had an initial meeting and approach from Coexistence Queensland, which was formerly known as the Gasfields Commission, a organisation that, in my number of terms of council, we've had, a strong relationship with, contact with, regular engagement with, because of their former remit, although it still stands, but their remit was very much around the introduction and development of the oil and gas sector across Queensland, and of course we've seen the dominance of that in the Surat Basin over the last 10 to 15 years. They're obviously had a name change recently, and it's been broadened to Coexistence Queensland, which takes in all energy type projects. I think a forum of this nature is appropriate for our region, given where we're at in terms of our agricultural presence, our dominance of the oil and gas sector here locally, but of course with the emergence of renewable energy projects that are present in the Western Downs, and then they're looking west into the Maranoa. I think it would be a mature step to take this opportunity to work with the organisation that is chartered from a state perspective to look at any positives, any challenges in making sure there is a coexistence across those industries. So we can see from the report that there has been one already held in the Western Downs and one in the Banana Shire, and both of those events were a good opportunity for community leaders to come together, from whatever perspective, and to talk about in the future when it comes to the coexistence of all sectors that the big sectors that make up the Maranoa. So I think this is a welcome invitation, and as I said, we've had a long relationship with the Gasfields Commission, who are now Coexistence Queensland, and we should partner with them and undertake this in our region, given where we are in terms of the growth of particular sectors.
Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Vincent.
Yeah, I'm happy to support this motion today. I think any opportunity we can support opportunities for our local businesses, agriculture, renewables to come together, talk about any issues. It'll just increase the visibility of these projects and hopefully for a smoother transition, whichever ways it goes. So I just think it's a great way for us to be able to support this.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? I too think it's a great idea, especially for community to get all the facts and hear from a lot of coexistence. We've spoken to them before, and like they're just there to let the community know what goes on and how it happens. So more than happy to support this as well. Would anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0.
Maybe just before we go on to the next bit, Gareth just needs to fix the camera up on.
Oh, okay. We'll just adjourn for a minute. Thank you. All right, we'll recommence again at 10:45, and thank you. L3, 2024-25 Annual Report. I have a mover, Councillor O'Neill.
I'll move the council, in accordance with sections 182 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, adopt the 24-25 annual report for Maranoa Regional Council as presented, authorising the Chief Executive Officer to make any minor amendments if required before the publication of the report.
Seconded by Councillor Brompton. Would you like to speak, Councillor?
Yeah, thanks very much, Mayor. I'm happy to move the adoption of the annual report as presented, subject to those smaller amendments if required. This is the first full annual report for the 2024-28 term. In my opinion, it's a year of significant work council has undertaken. We've seen a comprehensive review of our organisational structure and the ultimate adoption of a future forward-thinking structure that I think recognises what has worked in the past, and it's certainly going to be there to shape how council delivers not only the services for our community, but the projects and initiatives that will set our region up for the long term. I'm very proud of the work the council has done over that 12 months. It's our second year of looking at the long-term financial sustainability of council, and I think we are bedding in now a really appropriate financial lens to ensure that we are thinking about not only the now and what we need to deliver for our residents of today in this term, but how we are setting up our region for the next generations that are going to call the Maranoa home. And for me, it's really important that council focuses, and I think it's evident in this annual report and the works that have been happening since, that we are a term of council that's looking beyond the election cycle of 4 years, and that we are very much focused on ensuring that, at the back end of this term, we are leaving it in a far better place than when we started this term, and that we're putting initiatives and projects in place, strategies. We've got a mountain of work, of course, to continue this year around strategies, but we're putting the right frameworks in place that will see our region grow so that those future generations do have the security of a very strong place to call home. And I think that is very much reflected in this annual report, and I'm very proud to move it and to say thank you to Rob and the team, Brett, for pulling this together, to working with council, and it's a very solid document that people can look to know that council is working for them. We are focused on rebuilding relationships, furthering relationships. We're back at the tables where it matters. I think it's fair to say that our relationship with the state and federal government is the best it's been in a long time, and that's evident from the investment that's coming in for key initiatives across our region. So I want to take the opportunity to say thank you for the staff, for the power of work. It's very easy for us to sit in here and make decisions, or at times it's not very easy to sit in here to make decisions, but it is the team behind the organisation, Maranoa Regional Council, that ultimately delivers on the decisions that come out of this room, and it should be acknowledged, and that's reflected in the annual report.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Brompton.
I'd like to speak for this report as well. I support everything that Councillor O'Neill said, so I won't repeat all of that, but it would be remiss of me not to mention finances, considering that's my portfolio.
Depending on it.
It's noticed that the bottom line looks a lot better than we forecast, but that is just because of the timing of the federal assisted grants. In the previous financial year, the bottom line looked worse than what we'd anticipated because the financial assistance grants weren't paid in time. This time they were paid in advance. It makes for a roller coaster road for reading our reports. to the extent, and it's affecting not only us as a local government, it's affecting all, well, definitely all regional local governments that have a smaller budget. So we are advocating strongly to have this change so that the grants are paid in the year that they actually fall due. But I do want to acknowledge that whilst the bottom line looks wonderful in terms of where we sat at the 30th of June, it is a false economy as such because the grants were paid in advance. So I want to acknowledge that. And also, the other thing I will repeat is to thank the team, Rob, Brett and team. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to get these things happening and looking so polished at the end. And also just for the work that's done to get us to the stage that we can report all these great things that we've done.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Well, I would, but it's been said and it's been said. But so I'm just going to say thank you to Rob and the team. It's been a big year, and you'll be pleased to put this to bed, Brett, I know. So, but thank you to everybody that's, we've worked really hard. I think we've worked really hard. We've been out in the community as much as we can. We tried to, make sure we're spending the money where it belongs. And so for me, it's just been a very busy year. So thank you very much. All right. On that note, do you want to sum up, Councillor? On that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Thank you. L4, Resource Recovery Boost Grant 2025, concrete crusher and auxiliary equipment. Councillor Vincent.
I'd like to move that Council 1 approve the application to the Resource Recovery Boost Fund Small Online Grant Program for the project amount of $850,000 for the purchase of a diesel-powered concrete crusher. 2, approve the inclusion of $85,000 in Council's own funds as the required. We need own source.
Own source.
Own source means.
Own source funds as the required 10% contribution to overall project, if successful, as a capital special project in the 2025-26 financial year.
Have a seconder? Councillor Brumpton. Anyone got any questions?
Yeah, just again to ask the situation with regard to GST. I believe the one that we're looking at is the J1160, 795 ex-GST. The grant that we're applying for from the state government, and I believe state don't have GST in their grants. 795 plus GST is not 850. I just think we need to work out exactly what it's going to cost us, or what the situation with the grant is with regard to finance.
Do you want to answer that, or you want me to answer that? Okay. So I suppose the reason it's 850, that is an approximate final value of the project. We do have a specific price on the crusher, but we do also have ancillary items that need to be purchased. Mm-hmm. So we're confident that it will not go above 850,000. So we have to, the grant.
My question is that 850,000 ex GST?
Yes.
Well, it's not in the motion.
Okay. Yep.
I propose that we
Councillor
have it at 850 ex GST. And the 85 would be ex GST also.
Yeah, correct,
CEO Rob?
Councillor.
Yeah. Sorry, Councillor Vincent, are you happy with that?
Happy with that, Councillor Vincent?
Yes.
Councillor Brumpton, obviously. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Vincent, like to speak?
Yes, I'll speak to this. Just thank you to the manager of the waste facility and Director Jamie for coming forward with this project. We've got to take grant application opportunities when we can. We have seen in the last 12, 18 months the work that's gone out at the waste facilities, and with a bill of $1.8+ million spent on concrete crushing in the last 18 months. For the last 18 months, this will be a well worth wall project in investing in.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Let's go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0.
Yes.
Sorry, 9-0. L5, Bassett Park Racecourse Trainer Agreements. Councillor Burkett.
I'd like to move that Council 1 enter into non-exclusive racehorse trainer agreements for the use of the relevant facilities at Bassett Park for 3-year term with the following racehorse trainers: Jonathan Taylor, Colin Storch, Joseph Elpin, Scott Rogers, Wayne Baker, Cheryl Rogers, Ben Waldron, Rebecca Kerwin and Greer Doig. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or delegate to finalise and execute the agreements and any other associated documentation.
Have a seconder? Councillor Vincent. Can I just ask how they pay the fees? Is it annually, weekly, monthly?
Through the chair, it's, monthly.
Sorry?
Oh, it just says here per week, it doesn't say when it pays.
Oh, yeah, but how do they pay?
It's a monthly charge.
Monthly, yeah. And if they don't pay?
We have amended one of the clauses in the agreement to state if their account falls in arrears, that access will be stopped until the account is or arrangements have been made to.
Thanks, Leah.
We receive, the debtors team will send us outstanding ones, and there's the normal process about asking for payment, and then it gets escalated from there.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Davis.
I just had a question, Officer Leah. Have any other amendment? Is there any other amendments in the user agreement, or same as usual?
Through the chair, no, that's the only amendment. It was just a slight change in wording to better fit the agreement.
Thank you.
Okay. Everyone happy? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
9-0. Thank you. We've got one item in closed. Do we need to go into closed? Anybody online need to go into closed?
No, thank you.
Just got to get Lucy, haven't we? Leah's getting Lucy. I think Leah's getting a Rob sheet.
No, she's getting the team for the discussion around after the council meeting.
Oh, she just married to me. She'll get Lisa.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Brett needs to get his steps up.
So we don't need to go into closed? No one's got any questions, or everyone's good? All right.
Got Lucy coming in now, Madam Mayor, so in case you have any questions.
Yep.
Was Cam wasn't phoning in for this, was he?
No.
He wasn't.
Pretty good brief and.
Yeah, yeah.
Got some other wording up there.
That was just that tidy up, councillors.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're good to go then.
You happy to go, councillors?
Yeah.
We're right?
Yeah.
Lucy's there. There's only if you had questions, councillors.
Yeah.
Information in the report there.
C2, Denise Spencer Aquatic Centre Operating Strategy and Management Model. Councillor O'Neill.
I'll move that Council 1 endorse council management of the Denise Spencer Aquatic Centre for initial period of 3 years from opening, to include the Denise Spencer Aquatic Centre manager position within the organisational structure, and 3, undertake a strategic review during the 3 years of operation to evaluate financial performance, community outcomes, and alternative management structures.
Seconder. Councillor Vincent. Would you like to speak, Councillor?
Thanks, Mayor. This has been a decision that Council has not taken lightly. There's been extensive prep work in the background. Thank you to the team for taking council through this. From a strategic committee perspective, Councillor Flynn and myself, with the rest of the committee made up of staff, have had an initial conversation about this, and then of course council have got the report before them today to consider. I think this is the right decision. This is a brand new $36 million asset for our community. We need to understand it warts and all in terms of the operation of it. We've never seen a project of this magnitude, and then for the operational side of it, from an aquatic centre perspective, we've obviously got the sale yards. But I think it's important the council in the immediate term manage this, to take ownership of the new building and the new centre from the get-go, and then of course the running of it for a period of time to understand what might be the options longer term. And this decision before council today will start that process. The pool is on track, and we are still very much aiming to have that open for the Christmas school holidays of Christmas school holidays of 2026. And as we head towards that exciting date for the community, we've got to have the back of house ready, and having a position in the organisational structure and ultimately the decision of council to run it will do just that. So I'm fully supportive of this, and urge all councillors to support this as well.
Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Flynn.
Yeah, I'd like to support and endorse the remarks that Councillor O'Neill has made, and look forward to the opening and the continuation of the work leading up to December 2026, or possibly a little bit earlier than that. There's just one comment that was endorsed through the general consensus of our discussion with regard to the Aquatic Centre in Council. I don't think any of the councillors are in favour of using the acronym. The name is the Denise Spencer Aquatic Centre.
It's not used in that though, is it?
It's not used in the old town.
It's not in the motion, but it's
in the executive
filtered right throughout the report. Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Brumpton.
I'd like to speak for the motion as well, and just like to fully endorse it. This is not something council has considered lightly. We received a lot of information. Thanks to the staff, they managed to source expertise in this area. We benchmarked and looked at alternate models and have realised the information in front of us that there's been many different types of models that have opened up since the early 2000s. So we've looked at all those options, and considering, as Councillor O'Neill has said, the huge investment of council's dollars into this and external providers' dollars, it would be good for us to manage this at least for the first few years so we can iron out any issues and have a full understanding of what the ongoing management of this aquatic centre will mean, and then we can explore whether that's an ongoing thing for council or whether there's better models to look at.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Does anyone have any further business for today? On that note, I will close the meeting at 11:04, and I thank you all for your attendance.